Hey everyone, it's Mathew Reinhart. Welcome back to art class. I know I missed a day. I'm sorry. I was really busy. I had a big deadline with work, and so I decided, since Easter is coming up, and the Easter Bunny's coming, and all that sort of stuff, I thought we would make a little Easter craft. Today we're just going to use some cardstock, some markers, tape. We're going to use two kinds of tape. We're going to use double stick tape and one-sided tape, scissors, let's see what else. You'll need like something to color with. If you want to use different colored cardstocks or construction paper, you can. And then you can use all kinds of other craft stuff like for decorating, like let's see, rhinestones or fabric or ribbons or whatever you got around. I don't have that much except for this kind of stuff. So should we get started? Let's get started. Well, let's pick a good color. Ooh, I like pink. So I'm using cardstock, but you can use construction paper if you'd like, all right? So I really like getting candy from the Easter Bunny on Easter. Oh, yeah. And, it might be a little harder for the Easter Bunny to get here this year, but at least we can make a really cool basket. And, we're all staying in and we're all being safe, I hope, and taking care of each other. Let's make a little something fun and, be a little creative. Yeah. All right, so let's take a piece of cardstock and we're gonna fold it in half into a hamburger fold, right? And sometimes we use the edge of our scissors right here. Be careful of the sharp part. And we rub it along that edge, just like that. All right, now that you're caught up, let's take that piece of cardstock that we folded in half. See the line right there? In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? You don't need to do this, but I'm gonna do it so you can see it better. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put a line down the middle so you can see that fold a lot better. And then I'm gonna cut along that fold, just like this. So I have two pieces of cardstock. And then I'm going to take one and I'm going to round it off at the top. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go up to the top, kind of like that. So I cut one side, round it. And this extra scrap here? I'm going to lay it just right about there so that I can get the other side in exactly there. Let's move in there and close so you can see. See how I use that? I'm going to use that half to make sure I get this equal. Kind of like that. You see that line? Can you see it? And I'm going to cut. That way I get these edges to be somewhat close to being the same. All right, that's kind of, that's not the one. We want it to be a little rounder. We actually want it to be sort of a half circle. So this is pretty close. There, how's that look? Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, are you caught up? You got one done? Well, let's get the other piece that we cut. Let's line it up just like this. Oh, yeah. And let's trace it using a pencil, trace the edge. You could also trace cut it if you wanted, but I like to make sure, made a little mistake there. See, now I constantly make mistakes, so gotta make sure I do it right. So see, make sure the edge is lined up here and here. There, I'm gonna follow this inner line, and I'm just gonna cut it out. So now we have two shapes that are almost close. They're almost twins. They're almost identical twins. They're twins, but they're not completely, I'm sure, because we all make little mistakes along the way, but it's pretty close, right? So we got two half circle shapes. They're not exactly half circles. They kind of look like an egg, but they're close enough. That's close enough, right? Okay. Now I'm going to take another piece of cardstock. Now it can be the same color, it can be a different color. It doesn't really matter. You choose. We're going to put these aside. You choose to use whatever color you want. And what I think we're going to do is we're going to fold this one. I'm trying to think the best way. I think I'm going to fold it like about here. One side is going to be, it's a long hot dog fold, but if you'll see, I made one side a little thinner than the other. Let me see if you can see. I did the hot dog fold in that I made sure that it was sort of lined up at the top and the bottom, but I didn't make sure that they line up the same. See, the one is shorter than the other. So let me show you where my mark is, and then we'll give you a little catch-up time. So see how I did that? Like one side is thicker than the other. One side is bigger than the other. But it was a long fold like that. All right? Do you need a little catch-up time? Do it. All right, so now we have these two and it's an uneven hot dog fold. One side is long fold, you know? It's one side is bigger than the other. And we're gonna cut it along that line. We want to make sure that both of those rectangles, and they're long rectangles, both of those rectangles are different sizes. One's thinner than the other. Look at that. I'm skinny. I'm not as skinny. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you later. Okay, I'm gonna get going. Okay, so we've got this thin rectangle, this long, thin, tall rectangle. And we got the thicker one that we don't want to use. Well, we want to make actually a second thin one. So we're going to take and put on top of the thick one, we're going to put the thin. And we're just going to trace it along the edge, just like this, because we really need two of these. So we're going to have this long strip. We're going to save that. So what you're going to get from this second piece of cardstock is two rectangles that are the same and one long strip. That's what we've got from the second piece. Do you have that yet? Do you need time to catch up? Go ahead, catch up. We're gonna put this long strip aside. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use one of these long rectangles. We're gonna put this other rectangle aside. And we are going to line up one of our half circles. We're going to line it up just like that. Kind of looks like a sideways P, you know, like it's laying on its back. But we're going to mark the edges on here. So we're going to mark one. See how I did that? Pull in closer. Get on in there. We're going to go right here. There's one. Then we're going to pull it over to the other side and line it up just on the bottom. Do you see it just like that? In the same spot so that we get that mark in the same place on both sides. And we can actually use our circle here. Let's just use this. We're going to connect those two with our pencil, just like that. See how I've lined it up? Just like that. So now we have a little line here that marks where the end of our circle goes. And you know what I'm going to do with that? I'm just going to fold it. I'm going to fold along that part, just like this. This basket's going to be cool because we can actually hold stuff in it, and it'll be made of paper. Okay, let's pull back. All right, so this is folded, just like that. Did you do it? Did you catch up? I bet you did. All right, let's take this circle now. Now we're going to start doing some taping. So let's use some one-sided tape. Now you can use clear one-sided tape, or you can use masking tape, whatever you'd like, whatever you've got in the house. And we're going to tape it along this edge. We're going to tape this to this. And we're going to make sure that the edges just barely touch, but they don't go over each other. So we can do this, we can move it. All right, so we're going to put tape all along this edge, just on one side for now, with one-sided tape. Just like that. See how I did that? Did you do it? Did you catch up with and get it on one side? Let's move it over to the other side. And here's our second one. We're going to line it up down here. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing. That's right. Taping away. Make sure that edge, make sure they don't go over each other. Oops, I can't stand when I do this. You use too big a piece of tape. Sometimes you gotta be careful. You know, if you want, you can take this piece away and you can just tape that edge there, like that. And see, I'm not taping it to anything. It's still sticky underneath here. There we go. See how I did that? You see it? It's sticky there. Now I can stick it to that edge. And I just am carefully lining it up. And make sure that you really press on the tape and make sure it gets on there. Okay. So now this is what you should have so far. When it's flat, it should look like this. And you can, move them up and all kinds of stuff like that. Look at that. It's pretty cool. Well, guess what we're going to do? We are going to tape. Put tape here. Let's do it on the outside. We're going to put a little tape here. Just like that. We're going to tape it to this side of the half circle. See how I did that? Now, if you want, you can use small pieces to tape it all along that edge. You can use little pieces to make sure it's all taped along that edge. And the paper will curve a little with that circle. See how it curved a little? Let's do the other side. See, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it like this. And let's start at the bottom. It's easier to do the bottom, so let me see. Just like, can you see it? Gotta be careful with this part. And then I'm gonna do the top. Just like that. See how I did that? And I'll do the middle. Just make sure you get all along that little edge. Did you tape it? Did you catch up? Awesome. All right, so we've got part of our basket. I mean, we'll be able to hold stuff in here. It's not going anywhere, but what if, that could all dump out. Well, we got to do this side. All right, so what do we have to do it? Remember this rectangle? Not the little strip. We'll use that for later. Now, we need to get working on this side. And before we do it, let's fold just a little bit down here. Let's fold a little section of it, just like this. See how I did that? It's just a little small one. And the reason why I'm going to do that, I just want to connect it underneath here so it's a little stronger. So this little fold here, and I'm going to mark it so you can see it. But you don't have to do this part. This is just for us to be able to see it better. Let's see if we can see it better with this. Kind of screwed it up on that side. Kind of messed up. There we go. See, that's where the fold line is. See how small? It's just a little small fold there. Now you can use one of two things. You can use double-sided tape like this. Double-sided tape, they're sticky on both sides, right? Or you can use glue, or you could use an inside-out sticky roll. Do you know what an inside-out sticky roll is? You take one-sided tape, and you roll it back onto itself. Now it's sticky on both sides, right? You could also use that if you wanted to. See? Only on that small rectangle, not beyond. So don't get any on the edges, over the edges, and don't get any over here. We are going to tape it to the bottom of this edge, just like that. See how I did that? And what we're going to do next is we're going to carefully tape it. Let's see. Now, I don't know. Does that go too far? No, that leaves us a nice, what we're going to do is we're going to tape it all along this top edge. But we need to make sure that we have a little bit of a hole at the, I think we have enough. So now we're going to take some more tape. Oh, do I love taping stuff. And we're going to tape little parts starting from the bottom. We're going to do a little bit at a time. So I'm going to do a little bit and make sure it lines up. It's a little hard. So if you need someone to give you a hand, whoever's in the house, whether it's your, I don't know, is it, you got a parent or a sister or brother or an uncle or an alien or a robot or, anyone that could give you a hand if this part's a little hard. See how I'm just taping one section at a time, and we're going to go up. Don't tape it over here first. Tape it at the bottom part first. And we're going to take little pieces of tape. I'm going to tape it on the edge. See how I'm doing just a little bit at a time? We got to be patient with this part because it's a little hard. So we got to make sure, see the edge, that they line up. Because paper doesn't naturally curve, we got to help it along. And so taping it on the edge of a curve will help the paper curve. Now there's a lot of other ways that you can make paper curve. Like have you ever seen paper ribbon that you can, or have you ever seen when people curl ribbons and they have and it curls up when they use a sharp edge on it? I guess you could do that too, but we don't need to do that here. Let's use some more tape though. Gosh, I hope I don't run out of tape. I'll have to get some more. I have such a stockpile of tape because of what I do. Because I always want to do a craft. I always want to do an art class. Well, you gotta keep yourself busy, right? And you gotta be creative. What if I have an idea for something? I've got to keep on building it, right? Sometimes I raid the garbage or the recycling if there's something good in recycling. In fact, we're going to have an art class we're going to have an art class project coming up that uses some stuff from recycling. So see how I'm just carefully taping it along that edge? And I'm taking my time. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't do it in one long piece of tape. It won't work. You have to do it little bits at a time. All right? So we're just going to put it in place. First do one side and then do the other side. See how it's one side and then the other side. So you have to just be patient. Tape the edges. Because you want to do it right. You want it to work right, don't you? Of course. Of course, they said. Professor Reinhart. Don't you love that I like to call myself Professor Reinhart? It sounds very official. I'm such an official person. I'm so official that I'm not even wearing shoes. I'm wearing flip-flops today. Because I'm not leaving the house. I mean, come on, don't make me wear socks. All right, let's see, that's a little hard. Let's get that edge. See, if you do a little bit at a time, it's not nearly as hard. And then we'll tape it here. We're almost done. Ooh, look at how long that piece of tape is. That was wasteful. You only need a small piece. There we go. We're almost there. I'm so excited. This is a fun project. I like building stuff like this. Ooh, look we've made a box, but it's it's like a half circle box. Look at that. Now, we're not done. We got to tape that edge down. We're not done. Don't get excited yet. Now. I'm going to tape this last edge down. Oh, look at that. Look, we made our paper curve. Isn't that cool? And we got a little hole there. You know, if that window for your box is a little small, you could use your scissors and cut. Now you could cut a little from the bottom if you want. You want to make it big enough so that if you put candy in there, you can get your hand in, right? Ooh, see some of that tape slip? It came open, so I'm just going to repair it with some tape. Sometimes, you know, your projects don't quite work out right at first. We'll just fix them. I mean, we all make mistakes. We can fix them very easily. See, look at that. Little tape fixes it. I think I'm going to do the top a little too because my hands are a little big. I need to cut that off so that I can get my hand in there, because nothing's worse than when you want to get at candy and you can't. Oh, man. Okay, so there is our box, and it has a nice hole in it, and we can put stuff in. But now, we need a little, this is going to be our basket. But now we have this extra strip. We're going to use this as a handle. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use some double-sided tape, just like that. I'm going to put a little on that side. Just like that, see on that end? And I'm going to find the top. Let's see, I think this is about the top. I'm going to put it on right about there. And I'm going to stick my hand on the inside like this. And I'm going to put my finger under it. See how I'm going to put my finger underneath it. And the reason why I'm doing that is I just want to make sure that it tapes down. Now, if you don't have double-sided tape, you can always use regular tape and tape it down on this side. But you got to tape it on every side. So there's a little there. There's a little there. And there's a little there. See, I taped it. Zzz, zzz, zzz. And if you want, you could even tape it on this side too, just to give it some extra strength. Okay, so now it's just, oh yay, it's perfect, right? It's perfect. No, you gotta tape it over going on this side. So let's use one-sided tape and put it right there. And then we're gonna get to the fun part. Ooh, I can't wait, decorating. And then we're gonna push it down. Let's see, we gotta make sure that when we put it on, it's on the exact opposite side right over here. So see how that tapes to it? Now that's cool. So what do we do? Just like before, we put our hand on the inside underneath this, and we just press down on it and make sure you always put your hand underneath it, because if you push on it without something under there, it could crush your basket. So let's put your hand underneath here, press it down, and then also if you want, and I think this is a good idea, use one-sided tape on the outside of it just to make sure it's strong enough. So, and it's attached, and I've taped it all along these edges. Oops, careful there. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to tape it on the inside too. So now I've made my basket. Now, it's not decorated yet. It kind of looks like a purse. It's like, oh, hello, I have my purse today. Now, Now it's time for you to do your magic. What do you want to, this could be a bunny basket. It could be a lady's purse. It could be anything. You could make a snail out of it. You could make a fish out of it. You could do all kinds of stuff. Now, because it is Easter and I do like the Easter bunny coming, I'm gonna turn it into a bunny. And I'm just gonna use, let's see, what am I gonna use? I'm gonna use some more pink paper, and I'm gonna make a big rectangle here. I think I'll just cut out some ears. Like so. And a little head. Like that. I might stick it. Oh, that's going to be good. Look at that. Oh, that's going to be cool. And maybe I'll bend its ears. Now we can do all kinds. See, look at that. Oh, it's going to be cute. All right, so now it's time to decorate. Well, there it is. We made our very own, today in art class, we made our very own springtime bunny basket. Look at that. You can use it for Easter. You can use it for, well, anything. You could turn it, and it doesn't have to be a bunny. It could be any creature or thing. You can turn, or you can just decorate it as nothing. But we've made our very own basket like this. And we could use it for Easter if we wanted to. Oh, I'm gonna put some candy in his butt. Totally. Well, hey everyone. Thanks for joining me for this art class. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really did. And remember to stay safe and to stay healthy and to stay kind. Be kind to anyone that you can. Help everyone, because I know this is hard being at home. It's hard for me. I'm going crazy, but I'm going a little less crazy because I know you're out there and I know I can share with you and we can all be creative together. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.